Okay, all right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to our evening training. Today is a Wednesday. We are not doing a presentation. We are not doing a business presentation, but we are having a training. Yes. So I want to welcome you joining us this evening. Allow me to say good evening from Johannesburg in South Africa. This is Coach Mopiiwa. Yes, let me say good afternoon as well to you. A good morning, depending on your location. Yes, on your location. Am I audible enough? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, if you can see me, give me a one in the chat to indicate that my voice is audible. To indicate that my voice is audible, give me a one in the chat. Yes, we are going to get started. We are going to get started. Yes, okay, all right. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a training tonight. We are having a training tonight. So, I trust and believe that you are not attending alone. Make sure that you are not here alone. Yes, it's very important. Make sure you are not here alone. Make sure you are not attending this meeting alone. Is your team member here? Is your team member here? Yes, 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 yes. If you are building, I'm sure you are making sure that this training is also helpful to all your team members. So please invite your team members to join us here as we are getting started into our training. Yes, yes. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome all the leaders that are joining us this evening. So we are going to get started shortly. I see we are 44 participants in the room. Yes, we are 44 participants in the room. So I'm saying don't attend alone. Don't attend alone. Yes, bring your team members here. All right, yes. So who is joining us tonight? Can I find out who is joining on our training tonight? Yes, I just want to welcome all of you guys joining us in this training. So in a special way, let me do some shout outs, understanding that crypto ambassadors is scattered all over planet Earth. So let me do some shout outs to you. Yes. Who is joining us tonight? Let us know which part of Africa, which part of the continent. Yes, you are joining from. Tell us your name and where you are joining us from. It's a training tonight. We are having a training. So I believe that there will be some learning that is going to take place. Yes, tell us, where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from and what is your name? Who is you? Who is you? Yes. Who is you? What is your name and where are you joining us from? Yes, I'm already in the chat. I'm already in the chat. Okay, allow me to welcome let me start from here. Yes, we do have Kate joining us from Nigeria. We do have Kasim joining us from Uganda, Birungi joining us from Kakumiro in Uganda. We do have Aziz joining us from Uganda. Yes, this evening we do have Mumti joining us from Dubai, that's United Arab Emirates. We do have Namandi joining us from Namibia. Okay, thank you for joining us. We do have Francis joining us all the way from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, who else is joining us? We do have Musoke joining us from Saudi Arabia. Okay, we do have this is Beyonce. Is this Beyonce? Esther Beyonce, yes, joining us from this is Kenya, right? Yes, is joining us from Kenya. And we do have Emma Stone joining us from Uganda, Dennis joining us from Saudi Arabia, Martin joining us from United Arab Emirates. That's Dubai. Okay, Joshua joining us from Dubai as well. And we do have Ricky joining us from Abu Dhabi. Thank you for joining us, Ricky. We do have MJ joining us from Zimbabwe. Okay, thank you for joining us, MJ. We do have Campus all the way from Ghana. Monica joining us from Saudi. Okay, we do have Michael joining us from Nairobi, Kenya. What about William all the way from Ghana? We do have Ruth tonight joining us from Kenya as well. And we do have Lydia joining us from UAE. Yes, United Arab Emirates. Lydia, which Lydia is this one now? Okay, oh, it's different. There is Lydia joining us from UAE, and we do have Lydia joining us from Uganda. Okay, I was getting confused. All right, then we do have James joining us from Uganda, and we do have Timothy joining us from UK. All right, and we do have Nadi. Okay, is it Nadi or Nadi? Okay, joining us from Morocco. Yes, we do have Morocco team tonight. Okay, and we do have Joram all the way from Uganda. Yes. Oh, okay. Pastor Lydia. Okay, it's a pastor. Okay, joining us from UAE. Okay, welcome, Pastor. Welcome, Pastor. Thank you for joining us. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a training. Like I said, we are having a training this evening. So, make sure that you are not attending alone. Okay. So tonight we'll be looking at super bye-bye poverty strategy as well as bye-bye poverty. Okay. I will try and mix the two. All right. I will try and mix the two so that I'm able to kill two birds with one stone tonight. Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you are ready, give me a yes. You are ready, give me a yes. 16 minutes past 8 in Johannesburg, in South Africa. Yes. Are you ready? If you are ready, give me a yes in the chat. If you are ready, give me a yes in the chat. We are getting started. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, those that are just joining us. Okay, so it's a training. We are looking at different strategies that we are using in Royal Q, especially preparing for the bull run. Yes, don't forget that. We are preparing for the bull run because we are doing compounding. We are doing compounding. Okay, so let's get into it. I see I've got a couple of yeses confirming that people are ready to get started. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, then we get into the business of the day. I'm sure that your pen and paper is ready, or probably your Royal Q application as well is ready. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me share on my other gadget. Okay. All right. Okay. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I needed to do this. I'm looking for my other gadget here so that I'm able to share screen there. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, so let me share screen there and then we get into it. Okay, all right. So okay, is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? If my screen is visible, give me a 3 in the chat. If my screen is visible, give me a 3 in the chat. Give me a 3 in the chat if my screen is visible. Okay, all right. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna move step by step. Okay, I want us to be prepared because time is coming where we're not going to have enough time. Yes, we're not going to have enough time to create or to set every signal separately. All right. So it's better for us to understand our amazing Royal Q robot, the features that it is having inside. So when you come on the home page, what you are seeing right now, it is the home page of Royal Q. Okay. So on the home page of Royal Q, when you go to the far right of your screen, you are going to find the area where you log in and log out, especially when you are logging out. You tap on the mine section, okay? There is the mine section. So when you tap on the mine section, then you are going to find this, okay? You are going to find this area on the mine section, okay? What are we looking for here? I always teach this whenever we are doing a training. I want you to learn how to save time when you are setting a signal or when you are picking a trade. All right. So I want you to come here with me on this section called my strategy setting here. Okay. This area here, that's the area that we are looking for when we are tapping on the mine section. Okay. Royal Q decided to give us this section so that we can put our own strategy settings, okay? Different types of strategy settings. I believe that we can do up to 10 strategies that we can keep inside here so that whenever we are picking a signal, whenever we are taking a trade, we don't start from scratch. So I'm going to tap on my strategy setting, okay? I'm gonna tap on my strategy setting. So you can see that I do have two strategies that are appearing on my screen, okay? I do have two strategies that are appearing on my screen. For learning purposes, I'm going to delete all of them. I'm gonna delete all of them. Specifically, I'm doing this if we do have new members that are joining us, okay? To those that have been attending training, they know very well about this area. But those that are probably new, they should take advantage of this training. So I'm deleting all these strategies, okay? I'm removing all of them so that we start from scratch, okay? I have removed all the strategies that I was having. Okay. Guys, we are live. You don't need to request for recording. Okay. We are live. You don't need to request for recording. Stop requesting for recording. All right. We are live right now. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the screen. It looks like that when you don't have any strategy saved. Okay, so I want us to create a strategy where we are going to practice the bull run strategy, not the bull run, but the buy poverty strategy, as well as the super buy poverty. Okay, yeah. So here we are, and we are going to tap add it now. Add it now. This shows that I don't have any strategy that is saved. If I was having a strategy already, like what I was having those two, I could tap on the plus button here so that I add more, okay? I add more. If I was having already saved strategies, but I want to create more, I could tap on the plus sign. So let's click on add it now. So when you click on add it now, you are going to see the display of this form. Should I call it a form? Should I call it a page? It will depend which one sounds good to you. Okay. So when you land on this page, I just want us to do the settings first. But when it comes to the proper settings of the buy poverty and the super buy poverty, we're gonna do all of them under the margin configuration. Okay, but I want us to do the first setting on this page. How is it supposed to be when we are setting our signal? Remember, we are compounding. Okay, we are compounding. We are taking 3% from every signal, unless you are trading current price signals. But this is for preset price signals and other signals that are giving you 3%. Okay, that are giving you 3% because that's our target. Our target is to collect 3% from every signal once our robot complete a trade. Okay, so I want you to go with me. Okay, when it comes to the buy poverty strategy, as well as the super buy poverty strategy, we always trade with 5 margin calls. We don't trade with 7. All right, we don't trade with 7. And also you need to understand that the buy poverty and the super buy poverty deals with capital starting from $1,000. Yes, we are encouraging each and every one of us, at least increase your capital to $1,000 so that you enjoy whenever a trade has been completed and you are collecting 3% of your capital, which is $1,000. So our focus or our emphasis tonight will be looking at this capital. That's what we're gonna look at. So this is the super buy poverty as well as the buy poverty. The only difference is on the allocation of capital, okay? But the other settings are the same. So let's get into it. We are on page 1. On page 1, I'm saying we don't trade with 7 margin calls. So we need to edit our number of margin call limit, okay? Our number of margin call limit. I just want to focus on how to put in the relevant details or the relevant information for you to complete a trade. Okay, I'm not going to focus much on explaining what is margin call limit, what is AI margin call, what is whole position take profit ratio. I'm not going to focus much on that. I just want us to look at how do you impute the numbers, okay, so that you are able to set a trade. If time allows, then probably I will come and then start explaining some of these features that you are seeing. But for you to be able to trade, you just needed to learn how do you put in what is needed. Yes. So I'm saying here we are going to edit. We're not going to start with our first buying amount. No, I'm going to deal with this when we are doing our capital allocation. All right. So here I'm jumping on first buy-in amount. I'm not going to talk anything about that now. But let's start on the margin call limit where there is 7. We are going to put 5. Where there is 7, we are going to put 5. Okay. Where there is 1.3, which is whole position take profit ratio here. Okay. We are here now. We are here now. Okay. All right. We are here now. I'm talking about here. So here we are going to put 3.01. Okay, we're gonna put 3.01. Our target is 3%. Our target is 3%. Okay, so just follow what I am imputing here so that your work becomes easier. On the next one, which is the whole position take profit callback. Okay, the next one here, which is whole position take profit callback. What should be the recommended figure here or the recommended percentage? We normally put 0.01. Okay, that is the whole position take profit callback. All right, now I'm going to jump on the margin configuration. We're going to do here last. We're going to do here last. Okay. But I want us to come here where it says buy in callback. What do you put this side under the buy in callback? So on the buy in callback, it goes the same 0.01. Okay, you edit to put 0.01. That is the buy in callback. Now, here, I'm not going to talk about the distributed and take profit allocation here. Okay, I'm jumping here. We're not going to touch there. When we have time, then I'll come and explain. All right. But when you just follow what I am telling you to do, you're not going to have any problem once your robot is ready to trade. Okay. So let's come here on the subposition take profit callback. Okay. Yes. On the subposition take profit callback. What is wrong with the meeting setting? Someone is talking about meeting setting. What is wrong with the meeting setting? All right, so on the subposition take profit callback, we normally put as well 0.01 or 0.1, but we recommend this. It should be the same like what we did put on the whole position take profit callback. Don't forget, we are doing what we call one shot. We are trading under one shot when it comes to the strategy period. Okay, so tap where it says cycle and then it will change it to one shot. The moment you tap like that, it changes to one shot. Okay, so this is the first page. It is done. Don't worry about here. Probably someone is asking, what about the risk type? Okay, what about the risk type? It's not important for our setting. We are not dealing with that. Probably what you should do, it should be the remark. Name can you give it to your strategy? Then under option here, that's where you can edit the name of the strategy. Okay. For example, if we are to put on option, I can type buy poverty, okay, as the name of the strategy. Let me use some capital letters. Yes, let me use capital letters. So we are going to call it buy poverty strategy, okay? Buy poverty strategy. All right? Yes. Aha. So that you are able to know what strategy is this whenever you come and pick it. Because remember, you can create up to 10 strategies and you save them here. So when you give a name, at least you know. When you tap, you want to use it. Okay. When you want to tap and you want to use it, then it does not confuse you. It does not confuse you. All right. So guys, just concentrate. There are people that get disturbed with small things. Yes, there are people that get disturbed with small things. Can you just concentrate? Yes, someone is busy listening to the incoming and the outgoing of people. So he's not concentrating because of that sound. Just concentrate. Okay, just concentrate. This is simple. All right. Yes. All right. So this is what you are supposed to do on the first page. I'm calling this the first page of your setting because I'm going to the second page under margin configuration. If you have been following me up to here, give me a 4 in the chat. If this is okay, if you have understood this, just to put in what is needed. Just to put in what is needed. Give me a 4 in the chat. Give me a 4 in the chat. We are doing the super buy poverty strategy, and we are doing the buy poverty strategy. Yes. All right. So we are together, right? We are together. I can see the fours are coming in the chat. That shows that just follow what I am teaching. Okay, someone is telling me I have forgotten on the AI margin call. I'm saying follow what I am teaching. I haven't come to the AI margin call. I have not come to the AI margin call. I just want you to follow what I am teaching. It's gonna help you a lot. Okay? Yes, if you have mastered the art, please keep quiet. If you have mastered the art, I know there are people here who knows what we are talking about. So we are wasting their time. We are wasting their time, yes. So please get your seat and sit down. Okay. So we are here now. I am here. We have completed the first page. Now, let's go to margin configuration. Let's go to margin configuration. That's where I am going to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, under margin configuration, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. Okay, because I'm talking about super buy poverty strategy as well as buy poverty strategy. They are two. All right, so let me tap here on the margin configuration. Okay, on the margin configuration, please pay close attention because I'm gonna do two strategies when I come here on the margin configuration. So I'm tapping on the margin configuration here. Now, here we are. Okay, here we are. So let's do the settings under the margin code drop. I said that tonight I'm not focusing on explaining the definition of these words. I just want you to know what should you put here, what should you put here, what should you put here, so that your robot can buy and sell. That's our focus tonight. Okay? All right. So we are here now under margin configuration. Under margin configuration, I will call this is the engine of the robot. Okay? This is the engine of the robot. Because for your robot to buy and how much money it should put in the trade, all of those you do set them here. Okay, so what is on the left side? On the left side, we do have the margin code drop. How do we set the margin code drop? Let's focus on setting the margin code drop. When we are doing the buy poverty or the super buy poverty, the settings under the margin code drop is the same. Please understand me. We are dealing with two strategies. But the setting under the margin configuration, especially on margin code drop, it is the same. So what do we put on the first margin call? We put 0.2. On the second one, we put 0.3. That is second position, 0.3. On the third position, we put 0.5. On the fourth position, we put 1%. And on the last position, which is margin call number 5, we also put 1%. That is under the margin code drop. That is under the margin code drop. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. If you have understood this section, what you should put this side, give me a 6 in the chat. I go to the right side of this page. If you have understood what you should put this side, give me a 6 in the chat. Give me a 6 in the chat. I'm trying to check. I'm trying to check who is following. How many people are giving me 6? How many people are giving me 6? I want to make sure that we are going together. Yes, your focus should be what should you put in? Okay? for your robot the moment you click start, so that your robot is able to follow the right instructions. Okay? Yes, when we have time, then I'm gonna tackle about these things. What do they mean? Okay? Yes. Huawei Nova, please stop typing on the screen. Okay, so let's come to the right side of the screen. Let's come to the right side of the screen. So here it is okay. Now we are coming here. This side, it is where our capital matters. Okay? This side, it is where our capital matters. All right. So what did I say about the capital we are focusing on when it comes to the bye-bye poverty and the super bye-bye poverty? What capital are we looking at if you have been following me? How much capital are we talking about? How much capital are we talking about when it comes to the super bye-bye and the bye-bye? How much capital are we focusing on? How much capital are we focusing on? Thank you so much. So let's do our capital allocation. Let's do our capital allocation. If now you understand how much capital we are dealing with. Now, let's pick our $1,000 as capital. Now, we want to set it as a bye-bye poverty first. How do we do the numbers on the bye-bye poverty? Okay? How do we do the numbers on the bye-bye poverty? We want to do capital allocation. Now, when you are doing bye-bye poverty strategy, you needed to find out how much is going to be your first buy-in amount. Okay? How much is going to be your first buy-in amount? Remember, on the first page, I did not talk about first amount. I wanted us to deal with it here. Now, we are having $1,000 as our capital. We want to do bye-bye poverty strategy. Now, for you to get your first buy-in amount, you are going to divide, okay? You are going to find out. You're gonna expose 15% of your capital as first buy-in amount. Our capital is $1,000. We want to expose 15% of $1,000 as our first buy-in amount. Okay? This is bye-bye poverty strategy. Please understand me. Bye-bye poverty strategy. How much do we expose as our first buy-in amount? 15%. Yes. So someone has already done the calculations. How much is 15% of $1,000? How much is 15% of $1,000? Give me an answer in the chat to show that we are flowing together. How much is 15% $1,000? How much is it? How much is it? Those who are good at copy and paste. There are some that are good at copy and paste. They are waiting for others to give an answer. Then they're gonna go and copy and paste. Yes. You can do your copy and paste now. You can do copy and paste now. All right, it's just a joke. All right, so we do have 150. $150 is our first buy-in amount. So out of $1,000, how much is left? How much is left? How much is left out of $1,000? If we are to use 150 as our buy-in amount, how much is left out of the 1,000? Someone says 8. Is that true? What is 8? How much is left? How much is left? How much capital are we remaining with? If our robot buys first time with $150. How much is our balance, which is not used? Okay, $850. Now, the $850 that is remaining is for the robot to use it to buy when the market falls. Okay, when the market starts to fall, so that it can buy our margin calls. How many margin calls do we have? 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 How many margin calls? They are right there on your screen. You can count them. How many margin calls do we have? They are right there. Check on your screen. Check on your screen. I'm giving you an answer. Check on your screen. How many margin calls do we have? We do have 5. So this 850, it is for the robot to use to buy margin call number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, up to number 5, if the price falls from where the robot is going to buy with the 150. Remember, our first buying amount is $150. So the moment the robot buys with 150 and prices start to fall, instead of going up, the robot will be buying our margin calls using the remaining balance of 850. Now, how do we allocate this 850 to these buy-in times this side? Okay, how do we allocate the 850 to these buy-in times this side? This is what we do. This is what we do. How much? What is our first buy-in amount? Please remind me. What is our first buy-in amount? What is our first buy-in amount? What is our first buy-in amount? 50. Okay. Now, how much margin calls are we trading with? How many margin calls are we trading with? If we are having 150 as our first buying amount, how many margin calls are we trading with? How many margin calls are we trading with? 5. Okay? So we are going to take 150, which is our first buy-in amount. We divide by 5, which is number of margin call limit. What are we getting? What are we getting? We are getting new first buy-in amount. When we take 150 divided by number of margin calls, we are getting new first buy-in amount. What is the new first buy-in amount? It is the amount of money that the robot is going to use when it starts buying our margin calls. Margin call number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. It will be using this new first buy-in amount. It's not going to use the 150. No. The 150, it is the money that it will use for the first time to buy. This 150 is not from the margin calls. No. Are we together? If you are following, give me a 2. If you are following, give me a 2. We are allocating our capital here. We are allocating our capital here. Now, when we take 150, we divide by 5. How much are we getting? We are getting how much? We are getting how much? 150 divided by 5. We are getting how much? $30. So our new first buy-in amount, is $30. Now, when we click start for our robot to buy for the first time, it's gonna buy with 150. After buying 150, we come and edit the 150, then we put the $30. So that when the market started to fall, when the robot started to buy our margin calls, it will be using now $30. Now, I said that we are remaining with 850. 850. Now, what do we put this side now? Now we have divided the capital now. Can you see now we have divided the capital? Now we've got a clue. How much are we going to put this side? Okay? So the buy poverty strategy, we put here on the multiple buy-in ratio, we put 5 times per layer. We put 5 times per layer. Okay? 5 times per layer. This is how we set it up, the buy poverty strategy. Buy poverty strategy. Okay, 5, 5, 5. So remember, we are using $30 when it is buying these multiple buy-in ratio. So here it means 5 times 30. 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 The amount, if you are to add, you will discover that it is still using 150 per layer. It is still using the 150 that we used as our first buy-in amount. Okay? So someone is saying, why can't we just put that 150 as our first buy-in amount? We leave it like that. But when it comes here, then we put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Why are we not doing like that? Here is the reason. Our robot is a martingale robot. Apart from being a martingale robot, it uses what we call dollar cost averaging method. It does not put in our money, all of it at once. It buys in small quantities. Now, when it is buying in small quantities, whenever we allow the robot to multiply or to multiple the number of buy-in times, we give the robot power. In what way? When we want the robot to create an average price on every layer. Remember, when the robot buys with 150, it is going to create average price immediately after it has bought. Now, when it is multiplying the number of buy-in times, we are giving power to the robot to buy in multiples. So when it is creating the average price, it pulls the average price closer to the current price. As a result, since it is buying more of the stock, it will help us to get out of the trade faster. But if we say let it buy one time, the average price that is going to create, it doesn't make a huge difference. I don't know if someone is getting this, because someone says, but the capital there is the same. Why are we not using the same amount, which is 150, but we allow the robot to buy one time? So I have just done the explanation. Why do we want the robot to buy in multiples? It helps our robot to put average price to come closer to the current price, because every time it buys more. Are we together? It buys more. That is the reason why we are doing this. Okay, so we are clear now. So this is 150, 150, 150, 150, and 150. How much is here? How much is here? Remember, our balance was $850. If the robot happens to buy these margin calls, 5 of them, how much capital is going to use? Only on these 5. Okay, 750. 750 plus our first buying amount of 150. So 750 plus 150. How much is it? How much is it all together? How much is it all together? $900 is in the market. So we are collecting 3% of $900. So you can calculate how much is 3% of $900 approximately. If the robot sells and if the robot buys these margin calls. Now, out of our 1,000, we are remaining with $100 balance. What is this $100 for? You can use this remaining balance to trade current price signals. You remember those signals that says, if you see this signal after 5 minutes, don't enter. Yes. Those signals that says, if you see this signal after 5 minutes, don't enter. Yes. Those are current price signals. So you can use this remaining balance to trade those signals. Is that okay on the buy poverty strategy? Now, let me conclude and then come back. Let me conclude and come back. We have done the capital allocation. Now, here, the AI margin call should be on when you are starting your robot. The AI margin call should be what? Should be on. Switch on the AI margin call. All right? Switch on the AI margin call. So I am done with buy poverty. Then I want to go to super buy poverty. I said I want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The setting is the same. The only difference is the allocation of capital. The allocation of capital is the difference. So this is buy poverty. Now, let's go to the super. The super is a little bit extremely hot. Should I put it that way? Yes. It's a little bit extremely hot. What is the difference? With the super buy poverty, we are going to take our $1,000. Patrick, please allow me to type. Allow me to write on the screen, okay? Yes. This is our $1,000 capital. We divide by 2. We are going to get 500. So the super buy poverty, we enter here on the first buy-in amount with $500. Following, I'm saying super. This is super now. It is the same amount of capital, but the first buy-in amount is heavy. So we enter with $500 on the first buy-in amount. Then we remain with another half of 1,000, which is 500. So on this remaining balance of 500 is the one that we allocate for the 5 margin calls. So when we tap here, when we tap on margin configuration, you are going to discover that we put 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay? So we are remaining with 500 now. Immediately when our robot buys with $500 as first buying amount, we change the 500, we put it to $20. $20. So if the robot is going to use $20 to buy for our 5 margin calls, okay, to buy for our 5 margin calls, it means it is going to be 5 times 20. 5, okay, let me use it here. Let me tap on margin configuration so that we are able to understand. These are the numbers I was talking about here. Now here, it is going to use times 20, times 20, times 20, times 20, times 20. It is 100 here, isn't it? Here it is 100. Here it is 100. Here it is 100. Here it is 100. A total sum of $500 which was left, the robot will use to buy our margin calls. Are you following? If you are following, give me a yes in the chat. I don't need to explain why are we also using 5 in multiple buy-in ratio. It is the same reason. Why do we want the robot to buy in multiples? Okay? So the only difference between the two methods is about the capital allocation. That's all. But here the setting, the super buy poverty, the setting here, it is the same. Here also multiple buy-in ratio, it is the same. The only difference is their first buy-in amount. If you have understood this, give me a 5 in the chat. I want to conclude now. If you have understood this, give me a 5 in the chat. Give me a 5 in the chat. If you have understood this, give me a 5 in the chat. Okay, now we are here. Now we are saving this strategy. We are saving it. Remember here, I did not change. Can you see here? I did not change the first buy-in amount. Because whenever I want to use this strategy, I still need to edit only the first buy-in amount. Okay? Only the first buy-in amount. All right? So I'm not changing anything here. I'm going to edit it whenever I am picking the trade. So I am saving this strategy. I save it. I'm saving it. It's just that my network is not too good. Okay? Tells me abnormal network. Okay, so it is saved. Okay? It is saved. Now, let's get out of here. Let's come back to the home page. Let's come back to the home page. Now, I want to pick a signal. A signal has been given. And I want to use my strategy that I have saved under mine. How do I use that strategy which I have saved here when a signal has been provided? Because I don't want to start from scratch. So this is what you need to do. You tap on the name of the signal or on the name of the coin or the pair that you have been given as a signal. For example, ADX, this one. I'm tapping on this one. I'm tapping on ADX as an example. I want to apply that strategy I have saved. Okay? So I tap on the coin. I'm starting to set this as a signal. Then I click I understand. Okay? I click create. I tap on martingale strategy board. Then I continue with create. Then here I tap on the last next. When I come on this page, then I tap on trade setting. Okay? When I tap on trade setting, you can see here the coin is giving me, or the setting is giving me, choose a strategy setting. I want you to focus there. I want you to focus there. Don't focus on anywhere else. Or probably, let me choose a coin that I have never traded, because this one seems like it has got settings already. And you see it is having 5 margin calls. Let me choose a coin that I have never traded so that it gives us a better perspective when we are setting our trade. Let me pick this one, ALC. Yes, ALCX. I'm tapping on it, then I tap on create, I tap on martingale strategy board, then I tap on create, then I tap on the second next. All right, can you see it is giving me zeros everywhere? It means I have never traded this coin before. So it is giving me zeros everywhere. So when I tap on trade setting, it is going to give me this page. When I am on this page, remember, we are creating our own strategy manually. So I tap on manual create. Okay? I tap on manual create. Right? So when I tap there, then it is going to give me now this page. This is what I was looking for. Can you see the settings here are different? All right. So when it gives me this page, I don't need to start editing this, editing this, editing this, editing this. No, I have already saved a strategy under mine section. What do I do here? I tap on choose a strategy setting here. I tap here. When I tap there, it's going to take me to my strategy. Can you see there is my strategy? Okay. So for me to take this strategy and apply it in that coin or in that trade, I just need to tap on it. It will open. Okay. It will open. Can you see? My first buy-in amount needed to be edited here. The only thing that I needed to change is my first buy-in amount. Now, if I'm using the buy poverty, it means I'm going to put here 150. I'm going to put there 150. Then I click save. Okay, I click save. Then I can click activate. I can click activate so that my robot can buy for the first time using 150. Immediately when it buys first time with 150, then I will come and tap on trade setting again. Okay, I tap on trade setting again. Then I'm going to change the 150. I put now $30. Remember, it is buy what? Poverty. So I tap on it again. I edit the 150. Then I put 30. Then I click save again. When I am doing this, when I'm doing all this, I have to make sure that my AI margin call is on. Okay? My AI margin call is on. Now, the last but not the least, come here on strategy mode. Tap on strategy mode and change the mode to sub-bin mode. Change it to this mode. Change it to this mode. Okay? The sub-bin mode helps you to get out of the trade faster. When your robot is trading under sub-bin mode, when it is buying margin call number 5, it sells, it gives you the capital, but the profit, it takes it back to pull this thing called average price so that it can come to the current price. When your robot is buying in multiples 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, it pulls this average price to come closer here so that when the prices start to go up, you don't stay longer in the market. That is the advantage of sub-bin mode buying in multiples. That is the first part about this strategy, the buy poverty strategy. Now, if you want to use the super now, you want to use the super, you just need to change your first buy-in amount as well. Okay? You change your first buy-in amount. You allow your robot to buy with $500 here. On the first buy-in amount, before you click start, you put 500. The robot buys first time with 500. When it has bought with 500, then you come and edit. You tap on trade setting again. You tap on it, then you change your 500, then you put 20. So that when the robot is buying the 5 margin calls, it uses $20. And it's 5 times per layer. Remember, multiple buy-in ratio, it is still 5. That's why I was saying the super buy poverty and the buy poverty, the settings are the same. The only difference is the first buy-in amount or capital allocation. That's the only difference. Are we together? Now, listen to me now. I'm concluding. I want to conclude. If you are using the buy poverty, the buy poverty, our first buying amount is 150. This is the money that you're going to compound. Okay? If you are using the buy poverty, this is your first buy-in amount. If the robot buys or takes this trade, because remember, it can buy with 150, the market goes up immediately after buying with 150. The market goes up, then it reaches our 3% take profit. The robot is going to sell this stock that was bought with 150. So if it is like that, the robot will give you 3% of 150. It did not buy your margin calls. Please take note of that. So this is your first buying amount. So in this scenario, where the robot buys only one time with your first buying amount, then it sells and give you 3%. When it has happened like that, then you come and collect. When you are setting the next trade, let's say that this 3% is equivalent to $5 of 150. I'm just using this as an example. You come to your revenue, you discover that the robot has sold this stock and it has given you $5 as a profit. What do you do next? The next coming trade, what do you do? On your first buying amount, you are going to take 150 plus 5. It is going to be 155. That is your first buying amount. When the robot buys first time with 155, you change this amount to 30. You change again to 30. That is in the course where the robot has only buy one time with 150. Now, in the course where the robot has bought all your margin calls here, it has bought all your margin calls and it has put in the $900 and it gives you profit, let's say $30 as profit. I'm just giving that as an example. It has bought your margin calls, 5 of them. At the end of the trade, you tap on revenue, you discover it has given you $30 profit from this trade alone. What do you do when you are picking the next trade? You are going to take $30, you add it to 150. It means when you are setting the next coin or the next trade, your first buy-in amount is going to be 180. You keep on compounding your first buying amount. When this trade of 180 as first buying amount closes and it gives you another $30, you're gonna take the $30 you add to 180. It means your next trade, how much is going to be your first buying amount? 200 and what? 230. Am I correct? Yes. In the next trade, your first buying amount is going to be 230. So this is the buy. What about the super, where you are using 500? When you are using 500, the robot buys first time with $500 and the market goes up. It sells, it gives you 3% of 500. Let's say it is $15 as profit, only from 500. What do you do when you are setting the next trade? You're gonna take $15, you add it to 500. When you're setting the trade, you're gonna make your first buying amount $515. The robot buys with this, then after that you change back to 20. Remember, when you're using 500 as first buying amount, your second, which I call it new first buying amount, it is $20. So you change this to this. In the course where the robot buys your 5 margin calls and you are using $500 as first buying amount, then it gives you $50. Let's say that it puts in the whole $1,000 using the super. It puts in the whole $1,000. Then it gives you profit of $50. What do you do when you are setting the next trade? You're gonna take 50, you add to 500. It's gonna be 550. When you set the next trade, this is going to be your first buy-in amount, 550. I'm saying we are compounding. We are compounding. Are we together, guys? This is the last part. This is the last part. Anyone with a question? I think I have completed the training. Anyone with a question on the buy poverty as well as the super buy poverty? I'm stopping to share my screen. Can I have some questions so that I get out of here? Anyone with a question on this? Anybody with a question? Anybody with a question? I have completed the training. The the strategy mode. The strategy mode, which is the sub-bin mode, is applied to all strategies, whether it is the bull run, whether it is the buy poverty, whether it is the super buy poverty. Sub-bin mode is the strategy mode. Yes, sub-bin mode is the strategy mode. Okay, if you do not have the capital of $1,000, please use the other strategies like the bull run strategy to fit in your capital. To fit in your capital. All right? To fit in your capital. I'm trying to check the questions here. I'm trying to answer the questions. Okay, if the coin has already bought 3 margin calls, can I reset the trade settings again? You don't reset. You do not reset. I said that sometimes the robot can buy one time with the first buy-in amount. Then it sells. It gives you 3% of what was bought. When you are taking the next trade, you're gonna still use the same settings. Are we together? You will use the same settings. Even if the robot buys 3 margin calls only, then it sells. You do not focus on the number of margin calls sold. No, you focus on how much profit it has given you in that particular trade. Then you take that profit, you add it to your first buy-in amount. Then you continue with your journey of compounding. Whether it buys 1 margin call, whether it buys 2 margin call, whether it buys 1 time with your first buying amount, the strategy doesn't change. When you are picking the next signal, the same settings apply. This strategy is already under your mind section if you are following. If you are following this strategy, you have already saved it under your mind section. So whenever you are picking any trade, you just tap on choose my strategy setting or choose a strategy setting. Then you go and pick your setting. Okay. Buy poverty signals shared. Sometimes they are shared. Sometimes they are not shared. Okay. On the signals, sometimes they are specific. They will tell you buy poverty, super buy poverty. But whenever it is a preset price signal, you can apply the buy poverty. There is no problem. The only thing that you should not use the buy poverty or super buy poverty, probably in the current price signals. Because current price signals, sometimes we collect 1.5%, sometimes 2%, sometimes 2.5%. So in this one, we are compounding. We want 3%. That's what we want. Okay? We want 3%. How do we get the $20? It's just logic. Leader Kate, how do we come to the $20? We are just looking at the capital which is left, and we are looking at the multiple buy-in ratio. We are having 5, 5, 5. All right. Now we are remaining with $500 as capital for the 5 margin calls. All right. Yes, there is no magic in that. The sales are done by the robot. It can be every day. If the coin that you are trading is good, I'm talking of the market of the coin that you are trading is good, you can come out of that trade every day. I'm answering the question that says, is the sales done by the robot every day? Or how long does it take for a trade to be done? There is no time limit. It is about market performance. So if the market is good for that coin that you are trading on that particular day, the robot can close that trade on that day and you pick another one. Actually, when the market is good, you can trade 4 signals in a day. Yes, but there is no time limit allocated per signal. Okay? I am not Leader Dennis. I am Coach Mopiiwa. Someone is asking, am I Leader Dennis? No, I'm Coach Mopiiwa. I'm not Leader Dennis. Okay. Let me see if there are other questions that I need to tackle. When you are picking a trade, we understand that sometimes the market will go against us. We understand that because we don't control the market. So when you say, what if my robot buys my margin calls, all of them, and it doesn't deliver, what next? You wait. You wait for the robot to deliver. You wait for the market to come back, and then the robot delivers. Yes. If your capital is less than $1,000, please use the other strategies. Okay? Use the other strategies because it does not suit in with our capital. Because someone is asking, if I'm having $500 and I want to use the buy poverty strategy, what do I do? Am I answering your questions, guys? We do have different strategies. All these strategies, they are there for a purpose. We do have the bull run strategy, okay, and we do have the super bull run strategy. So if you are not fitting in the buy poverty and the super buy poverty, use the bull run because your capital will be able to suit in there. Is that okay, guys? We do have different strategies that we are working with. So it's not a must that you should be able to use the super buy poverty because your capital is not there yet. But if you insist, then you can use the same application. If you're having $500, divide it by 15 to get your first buy-in amount. Okay? Yes, I'm just now answering this question. If you want to use $500 in the buy poverty, divide it by 15 so that you expose 15% as your first buy-in amount. Then after, you also do what I was teaching you when you want to allocate the remaining balance for your 5 margin calls. Is that okay? Because you are insisting of using $500. Use the same methodology. Yes. Is that okay, guys? Let me check. Do I have new questions? Okay. Super bull run. Okay, I was not teaching about the super bull run. I was teaching about the buy poverty and the super buy poverty. Okay. If you are to learn about the super bull run, please go to Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel. There are already recordings on the super bull run and the bull run strategy. We do have already there. Okay. So today I was only talking about buy poverty and the super buy poverty. Guys, I have answered that sometimes we don't have signals that says buy poverty signal or super buy poverty signal. You can apply this super buy or buy poverty in the signals that are provided. But I'm saying the signals that are giving us 3%, because we are targeting 3% as our take profit. Remember, we are compounding. Yes, the journey to compounding. So you can apply those signals that says 4% drop, 5% drop. You can apply them, but you just need to follow the settings that are in each and every strategy that you want to use. Don't forget your AI margin call to be on. All right? Is that okay? Because someone is asking how frequently we share the super buy and the buy poverty signals. Yes, you can apply the strategy in any signal apart from the current price, the ones that says collect 1.5, 2%, enter this signal immediately after it has been sent, or don't enter the signal after 5 minutes. Don't apply these strategies in those type of signals. All right. That's why I was saying when you are using the buy poverty, there is a balance of $100 left on your capital. Then you take the $100, then you chase those current price signals with your $100. Okay, I think we have done quite well today. Let's end here because I don't see more questions. Seems like I have tackled all the questions. If you are having $50, Emmanuel, if you are having $50 as capital, go to bull run strategy where you are going to use $10 as your first buy-in amount. Okay? If you are new, Emmanuel, if you are new, please go to Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel. We do have the bull run strategy. You can pick the bull run and only work on your first buy-in amount so that your $50 capital can apply. Which one is not replied? Okay. The super, okay. Maybe for the sake of those, there are people that want to see the settings again. Okay, let me just share my screen. Let me just share my screen on this other gadget. Here are the settings. Guys, here are the settings, okay? Those are the settings. Whether it is a super buy or the buy, the settings are the same. I said the difference is in capital allocation of the first buying amount. That's all. But the settings are the same because the AI margin call should be on. Is that okay, Leader Kate? Did you capture that? Leader Kate, did you capture that? You were asking I should display again the settings of the buy or the super buy poverty. Is that okay now? Not quite. Where did you miss? Where did you miss, Leader Kate? Where did you miss? I'm trying to answer your questions in the chat. Okay. We are going to end the Zoom now. Let me allow Leader Kate to unmute and then we end with her. Yes, you can ask your question.
Hello, my leader. Sorry
Yes.
for the inconveniences. Where I'm lost is from that $20. I don't know how we got it and the $100 we used for the margin calls. That is the only confusion.
I just said that you just use your common sense there to get the $20. You just need to follow the instructions because we are saying the capital is $1,000 and you are using 500 as your first buy-in amount.
Okay.
Then you are remaining with 500. Then you allocate the 500 to the 5 margin calls. So for the 500 to fit the 5 margin calls, that's why we are looking at $20 to be the first buy-in amount, and it buys 5 times per layer.
Okay, 5 times. Okay, per layer is $100 per layer.
Yeah,
okay.
Per layer is $100.
That is where the confusion is. That is the confusion.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I got you now.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Allow me to end here. I think we have been here for some time. Yes, the channel is called Crypto Ambassadors. The channel is called Crypto Ambassadors. The YouTube channel is called Crypto Ambassadors. Yes. All right. If I have traded a coin with a different strategy, not either of the mentioned one, can I change the strategies mentioned when the coin is still running? There is no use for you to change because the coin is already trading and it has picked your margin calls. This is Rohan. Rohan, you cannot change the settings of a trade that is already trading to apply a different strategy because your margin calls are already bought. So there is no use. If you are to change, then change it in the next trade. Yes, if you are picking another trade, then you can use a different strategy. But if your coin is already trading, there is no use for you to change the settings. I'm talking of a strategy as such. Is that okay, Rohan? There is no sense at all for you changing the strategy when the coin is already bought. Okay, so let's call it a night, guys. Thank you for being here with me. I wish you a lovely night, a lovely morning, a lovely afternoon, depending on where you were joining us from. Let's meet again next time on the same platform. Yes, understanding how our settings goes, especially preparing for the good time. Yes, the market is going to be good. So let's be prepared. Let's be prepared. That's why we are testing different types of strategy. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate your presence. May the good Lord be with you until we meet again. Bye-bye.